First comic I ever saw live was in drag.
Who?
The British guy.
Eddie Izzard.
Eddie Izzard.
I believe Eddie Izzard's trans.
Well, at the time he would be in drag, and I think
Right.
now he's said, actually, this whole time I am.
Right.
I think he was called a transsexual back then.
I believe the term
transvestite meaning
that might have been an old
sorry.
term. Yeah, I think that's
Transvestite.
the older term.
And
I don't even know when they stopped using that term.
Yeah, I mean, I was a kid. It was at the Blue Note.
Yeah. Oh, that's amazing.
And my mom took me. I had no clue really what was going on. My mom's Scottish, and I think she was just like, "Oh, this British guy's really funny." And but that was the first person I saw do it live and just killing in this jazz club. Blue Note is actually a great room for stand-up when you think about it too.
I've actually never been inside.
Yeah, it has like a Village Underground kind of vibe, just like intimate. But it was the first person I saw doing it, and it was weird even at that young age. Like I thought it was funny that there was a man dressed as a woman.
You were laughing for the wrong reasons.
No. I thought it was.
Izzard had jokes.
No. I thought it was funny. Like I was like, as a kid, you just find these. Like if my dad wore like a Spider-Man costume once, I was like, oh, it's my dad, but he's dressed as Spider-Man. Like I thought it was funny. But then I noticed, and I'm like young. I don't even know why I was allowed to be there. But then I was like, oh, these people find what he's talking about funny. And I remember being like young, going like, oh, I want to be on the inside of this joke. Like what's like I understood that the outfit was one thing. And then what he was joking about was something completely separate.
Right.
Like it wasn't like a gimmick. Because Eddie will just dress like that and then talk about like
Then he just
history
does
and
stand-up,
culture
yeah.
and that kind of stuff. And I remember like, there are two distinct memories I have as a kid where like I felt on the outside of something I really wanted to understand. One, before I knew how to read, I saw my friend reading. And he was just looking at a book and I looked at it and I saw the words and I was like, this is so fucking annoying. That I see all these fucking words and I can't fucking read
This is the plot
them.
of Frankenstein. You know
Is it really?
Yes.
Get out of here. I remember being in a taxi.
The
I've never
monster
seen
looks
it.
through the window. He's like, man, I wish I could read.
Get out of here.
And then the kid teaches the
I'm
monster how to
fucking
read.
Frankenstein.
Well, you're the monster.
I'm the monster. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Frankenstein is the doctor, the monster. Yeah. And I remember looking at that book and I was like, I really want to do that. And I remember seeing Eddie Izzard up at the Blue Note and making all these people laugh and going like, fuck, I really wish I understood why everybody's laughing. And I just didn't know enough about like whatever he was talking about to do it.
Well,
So yeah, I'm curious about Bob.
It's interesting because prodigies, also Friendly Boots talks about it, is you can have prodigies in sports, music, acting, but not writing. And writing and comedy are hand in hand because you have to live in order to
reflect on experience.
Reflect.
Yeah.
So you can't just be taught how to do it, where you can be taught how to tumble, play piano, act, do all these things. Writing, no. So you never see children prodigies.
In terms of writing, because they're not experiencing enough. I'm trying to think. I remember when we were younger. Do you remember that book that came out? It was called, say that? Aragon. No. 13. Do you remember this? There was like some young, like, it was a private school kid, I think, who was like reflecting on.
The movie.
They made a movie about it later, but.
Was it with Jodie Foster? I'm thinking of something else.
Evan Rachel Wood and some...
Oh, not at all. I'm thinking of Panic Room. Sorry, go on.
I don't know. I'm just trying to think that, that kind of makes sense. Like, I think that's, and we talk about this a lot, but like with comedy, like there's very few like great young comics.
Yeah.
Like
it's something
we know people that are funny
You
and
can
they're
get
young.
funny quickly.
But
Yeah.
if you look at like iconic comics, like Eddie Murphy was young and funny, and he was an absolute superstar. Outside of Eddie, maybe like Freddie Prinze or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, you want to talk about like the Mount Rushmore? These people were older.
Joan,
Pryor, Carlin.
Even Chappelle started at
Chappelle.
like 16, but you didn't see a special till like 27, 28.
Right.
Even
and then,
Chappelle, where he is now, is after the sketch show and then other specials, right? And it's just like having that wisdom and having that life to reflect on and having that experience allows other people to tap into this emotion that they're feeling, but they don't know how to articulate.
Well, it's like leveling up, right? Or it's like any kind of art form. You have to build a skill set in order to truly express yourself. And they do go hand in hand. But, you know, we see ourselves, I believe that we see ourselves on stage and it takes years to get to that vision, right? Because you want to try and eliminate as many things as you can between your brain and what's happening on stage. Same with drawing. I see what I want to draw, but it took me years to get enough muscle memory and technique to not think about that anymore. So comedy's kind of the same way. Yes, you can get funny really quickly, but who cares?
it doesn't mean anything.
With drawing is quite interesting. I think that parallel is good. Because I would look back at like old jokes I want to do, like first notebooks, and the premises or just the ideas were just as solid.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the skill set to pull them off. And I started to learn that. And I'm sure that's what you're imagining when you're painting something. You're like, I want this tree or this character to look like this. And then you start and you're like, fuck, it doesn't look like it yet. And then 10, 15, 20 years later, you learned how to do the shading to create somebody's cheeks and bones and all these other kind of structure. And that is stand-up.
Yeah, my first stand-up notebook just says Liza Minnelli again and again. And it's come true.